Variables define the value. Classes define the scope. Think of a class like a style preset you name and save. Every element you attach to it inherits those styles automatically. Apply it to 10 elements, update it once, and all the 10 change instantly. And you can stack multiple classes on a single element, so you might have a button class that handles the base button structure, padding, and border radius, and then another class that adds the background and text colors. 2 classes, 1 element. I'll style this heading. Instead of keeping the styles local, I'll create a class in the classes field. And while I'm here, it's worth mentioning that classes aren't just for default states. You can also style an element for the hover, focus, or active state. I'll show an example later on. Now I'll scroll down to another section and apply that same class to that heading too. The change is instant. Same styling, zero rework. And here's where it lands. I'll update my class by bumping the font size. Both headings update. Now imagine that across 15 pages and hundreds of elements, and if you ever need one element to behave slightly differently, you don't have to break the class. Just override that one property locally, directly on the element. The class stays intact everywhere else, only that specific element changes. Styling with a local mode is basically how we did things so far in version 3. And if you don't want to use classes, that's fine. You can keep working with local styling also in version 4. One more thing. If you've already styled something locally and want to reuse it, there's a Convert to Global Class option. One click and our local style becomes a reusable class. Important to mention that the new design systems you build can carry on to support even more than just atomic elements. Your new color variables can sync directly to v3 Global Colors, and your new typography classes can sync directly to v3 Global Fonts, so you can use them in classic widgets too.